This is probably one of the funniest arguments I have seen in Rise of Kingdom. Not because either side was wrong, because both sides were talking about completely different timelines. One player said, "Why would I sweat for 40k Alliance credits?" Another player replied, "Because those credits add up." And immediately people start arguing. You know, this type of arguing when nobody is actually changing their minds, everybody think they're right. The thing is, the longer I thought about it, the more I realized this isn't really a conversation about the lance credits. It's a conversation about the future problems. And most players are terrible at predicting preparing for the future problems. Honestly, myself included. I can't even pretend otherwise. Because if you ask me, do I care about the Alliance credits? I won't be laughing. I mean, Alliance credits, who cares? I need speed ups, I need resources, I need commanders, I need to get stronger. Until these days is something that is still on my mind. I'm currently still progressing in this game, trying to make myself more stronger. But migration wasn't even in my radar. And that's exactly why this topic is interesting. Because the biggest migration mistake doesn't happen when you are migrating, it happened months before you even think about migrating. That's when the mistake is happening. The problem is that migration feels like somebody else's problem until it become your problem. Until the kingdom told you to, migrate out till your performance for some reason is not enough and kingdom ask you to migrate out, or if you want to join and play with your friends and you want to migrate out. I mean, there is just so many things, and at one point it may become your problem. And if you've played Rise of Kingdom long enough, you already know how this story goes. Everything is fine, kingdom is active, friends are active, fighting is good. Life is good. Then one season later, something changed. Leadership change, civil war starts, players quit, matchmaking get ugly, kingdom direction changes. Suddenly you're opening the migration screen. And this actually happened a couple times in my experience with the kingdom building games, where either I get forced because our kingdom becomes so dead because of the civil war and players just changing their just joining some strong kingdom or with friends or whatever was the reason. We end up with like maybe, I don't know, 30, 50 people who was, let's say, active one. And at this point I have to migrate because this kingdom was dead. And same for the civil war. If somebody in the home kingdom is chasing you, well, they can strike you under alliance territory, from what I know. And this make the things little more hard for your survivability, especially depending who is chasing you. If you're using some shields, at one point you're just going to finish your shields. Now I buy this 24-hour shield just in case. I mean, I see it on the good price and I buy it because you never know when you're going to need it. And in situation like this, what you can do? I mean, except just migrate out and join somewhere else. And that's usually the exact moment when the people discover how expensive migration really is. I remember the first time I seriously looked at the migration requirements, I thought, wait, how many passports I need? Seriously? And boy, the way you can actually see that now here right now, I'm not going to get I'm not going to need some migration, but again, my kingdom building experience show me that those things is extremely expensive. Now here you have like new world where you have some passport, but as you can see, it's just a single passport and it's costing like $5. And this thing is expensive, especially depending on the power you're having things at the end of the day. Because before that point, passports were basically invisible. Invisible to me. I was thinking about them. I was planning for them. I wasn't actually planning for them or thinking about them or preparing about them. And now I'm actually currently looking at the at those migration just for the purpose of this video. I actually make that. And one of the other places where you can get some migrational permits is actually from the shop, a Alliance shop. Somebody can buy those Alliance Inventory, they can buy those things. It's going to cost like 100k of these gold coins. There is like 7.1 million. But if this thing is costing like 10k, this one is 100k, most likely this thing is 10 times more expensive from the speed up that is 1 minute. So what this mean? How much it costs 1 minute speed up is 1 hour speed up is costing 30k. So 10 times expensive is 300k. This is what is one permit. And to be fair, I have like 557 of these coins. So yeah, it's actually getting pretty expensive if I look over this. And still there is, I save my coins just in case. I think somebody have to buy these things to actually get represented. Here there's just name changing at the moment and other stuffs, but still it's actually very expensive if you're not prepared for this. And players who migrate easily are usually prepared long before they know they need to migrate, where everybody else start preparing after they already need that. And that's a huge difference. I show you one migrational permit, how much it cost. It's not costing it's actually costing a lot. I mean, it's like just one passport here. Too bad I cannot actually see the whole picture here, and it's in stock just a single one. And this is a huge difference between the players who have a plan B if they want to migrate, and players who I want to migrate, so what I need, and they start looking at the numbers. Actually, I think last credits are one of the best examples of strategy game lessons that applies everywhere. The most valuable resources are often the resources you don't currently need. That's the contradiction. Nobody gets excited about stockpiling something they don't need today. But that's exactly why it becomes valuable later. I see this with speed ups, I see this with gems, with sculptures, and definitely I see this with the last credits. And yeah, okay, maybe the speed ups, people have some idea where they can, they can save it, or they basically use it. I mean, I'm having like 2.1 million power. People ask me why you have that much that low power, and at the same time you're basically close to VIP 10. What is the reason behind it? And I'm just saving my speed ups. I don't push that hard. The only thing I'm currently pushing is getting my building speed and my research speed maxed. This is the only thing I'm currently pushing. And when the time comes for some event, I'm going to push, I'm going to get great rewards. This is the reason I'm like this. But this is with speed ups. It's same with the gems, it's same with the sculptures. I mean, today I hear somebody asking, okay, I have like 50 legendary sculptures, what to do with these sculptures? Well, nobody explained to people that there's going to be meta heroes coming in this game, and when you get this meta hero, it's very nice if you awake this hero right away. So, for example, Yasuji is one of the heroes that I'm preparing. I actually have like, I think 56 of these legendary sculptures, but yeah, I'm slowly preparing for this hero that is going to arrive after 3 months, which is absolutely crazy, but I believe this is the right approach. Now, if somebody says it's only 40k credits, they're technically right. I mean, 40,000 credits isn't life changing. 1 week isn't life changing. 1 month again is not life changing, but you're stockpiling this thing. You're stockpiling these coins at the end of the day. The problem is nobody. The problem is nobody plays Rise of Kingdom for 1 week. Nobody. We're talking about the months, years, multiple KVKs. And the thing is, I mean, the other kingdom building games that I'm still playing, and some of them I'm from the global launch and I'm still playing, like close to 4 years playing this game. Now, so far, I enjoy Rise of Kingdom, so if I enjoy this game, most likely I'm going to play this game for a very long amount of time. So this is what I'm trying to say. It's not like tomorrow, today, tomorrow, this week, or this month. We're talking about the years in the future. I mean, those upgrades that we're seeing here is actually taking so much time. So much time. Some systems, if you don't spend for free-to-play players or WoW spenders, it's just taking so much time. Everything is just so much time. Multiple seasons, multiple KVKs. And that's where the small things become big things. Because when you stockpile every day something, at one point after 1 year, imagine this is like learning, brother. Imagine if you know, read for 1 hour per day, and at the end of the year is going to be 365 hours of day, 365 hours, which is days, weeks, months that you're basically reading. I mean, stuff like this. I think that's one of the biggest mindset shift I had as a strong player. I stopped asking, is this worth it today? And I start asking, what happened if I keep doing this for a year? Or what happened if I don't have this thing and I actually need this thing? This is also a very good question, because you're going to see what will be the consequences if you don't have something that if you don't have something that maybe somewhere in the future you're going to need. How much is going to cost you? Now, this is a completely different questions, because a lot of activities look terrible on the daily basis. They look amazing over a long period, but absolutely terrible on the daily basis. That's exactly how compounding actually works. And by compounding, I'll give this example where you read every day something, and after 1 year, you basically have 365 hours, you know, of learning this thing, which is absolutely wild. And honestly, compounding is probably the strongest mechanic in every strategy game. And it's not only in the strategy; it's also in the life. It's basically everywhere. The compounding, going to the gym, for example, every day. You're not going to see results today, but you're going to see after six months. I mean, I don't want to sound like a motivational speaker or something like this, but compounding is always something good. No commander, and honestly, compounding is probably the strongest mechanic in every game, strategic game. No commanders, no spending, no bundles, compounding. The ability to do something small repeatedly. The players who understand that usually end up ahead. The players who don't usually feels like they're consistently catching up. And I think migration exposed this better than almost anything in Rise of Kingdom, because migration is basically a giant test. Did you prepare before you need it, or did you wait until become urgent? And urgency is expensive. That's true in the games, that's true in the life, that's true everywhere. Urgency is expensive. And the funny thing is that most players don't even realize they're making the decision. By ignoring alliance credits, they're still making a decision. I mean, either if you do something, is a decision. If you don't do something, is still actually a decision for you. They're choosing presence value over future flexibility. Maybe that's the right choice? Sometimes is. But I think players should at least understand the trade-off, because that's what strategy really is. Not finding perfect decision, but understanding the consequences. What is going to be the consequences if you're not having something that may happen in the future, and if you don't have a way to somehow prevent if something bad happen in the future. For example, the whole kingdom is hunting you. You want to migrate, you have to buy the bundles. Either way, you're going to get zero. So so when the urgency starts knocking on the door, the expenses, it become expensive. And one consequences of ignoring alliance credits isn't visible today. That's why it's dangerous. The consequences appears like maybe 6 months later, usually at worst possible moment when you actually need them. That's when everybody suddenly become interested. That's when everybody starts doing the math. That's when everybody start asking the questions, and by then you're playing catch up. And honestly, the older my account gets up, the more I agree with that mindset. Not because it's exciting, because it's peaceful. You don't have to stress. You don't have to scramble. You don't have to solve problems under pressure. You already solved your problems months ago. So whether I hear somebody say alliance credits don't matter, I can't of understand where they're coming from, but I also know what usually being said by somebody who doesn't currently need them. That's the key detail. Nobody's going to tell you I need alliance credits when they basically don't need them. I mean, when they need them. Nobody's going to tell you I don't care about this. But when they need them, it's urgency and expensive. And strategy games have fun habit of making today irrelevant resource become tomorrow most important resource. Anyway, I'm curious what you guys think. Have you ever been stuck in the kingdom and realized way too late that you weren't ready to migrate? Or are you one of those players constantly stockpiling credits just in case? Let me know in the comments below. So far, don't forget to hit one like on the video. Also subscribe if you're interested in more Rise of Kingdom videos. Wish you a great day and see you in the next video.